June 27th, 2017. People woke up, made coffee, drove to work. They opened their computers, like every other Tuesday. And then the screen changed. Not one computer. Not one office. Thousands of machines, simultaneously across an entire country. The message on the screen said your files were encrypted. It promised that if you paid, you would get them back. That was a lie. This was not about money. This was never about money. So what was it about? Within hours, the calls started coming in. Shipping giant Maersk, gone. Pharmaceutical company Merck, gone. FedEx, Mondelez, Reckitt Benckiser, gone, gone, gone. $10 billion. That is what this cost the world in a single day. Maersk moves 20% of the world's shipping containers. On June 27th, their entire computer system disappeared. Every screen, every server, every record, in 45 seconds. The Heritage Valley Hospital network in Pennsylvania lost access to every patient record. Doctors could not see medical histories. They could not see allergies. They operated on paper in 2017. Every investigation pointed in one direction. But what they found there was not what anyone expected. Because NotPetya was not designed to make money. It was designed to do one thing: destroy. Someone built this. Someone tested it. Someone gave the order. And someone chose Ukraine. The question is, why?
To understand what NotPetya really was, you have to understand where it came from. Since 2014, Russia and Ukraine had been at war. Not the kind of war you see on the news. A different kind. Invisible. Deniable. Digital. Inside Russian military intelligence, there is a unit. They have a name. Sandworm. Sandworm needed a way in. They found one. A piece of accounting software. Used by almost every company doing business in Ukraine. It was called M.Doc. In April 2017, Sandworm quietly pushed an update to M.Doc. Accountants across Ukraine downloaded it. Without question. Without suspicion. They were installing a weapon. And they had no idea. For 2 months it waited. Sitting inside the networks. Learning the systems. Mapping every connected machine. On June 27th at 10:30 in the morning, it activated. NotPetya was not ransomware. It was a missile. Built from code. Launched through a software update. By a government. Against a country. And then it escaped.
The people who built NotPetya made one assumption: that it would stay inside Ukraine. The first sign that something had gone wrong was in Russia itself. Rosneft, one of the largest oil companies on Earth, Russian-owned, hit by their own weapon. Maersk operated 76 port terminals across 130 countries. Every single one went dark. 17,000 containers were already at sea, with no record of what was inside them or where they were going. Merck makes vaccines, including the human papillomavirus vaccine. Production stopped completely. The US government had to lend Merck vaccines from its emergency stockpile because a cyberattack in Ukraine had disrupted the American medical supply chain. In Chernobyl, the radiation monitoring system went offline. Workers had to monitor radiation levels manually at the site of the worst nuclear disaster in human history, with handheld devices. The official damage was $10 billion. But nobody counted the delays in medicine. Nobody counted the cargo that was lost. Nobody counted the hours workers spent at Chernobyl holding a device in their hand, hoping the number stayed low. A weapon built for one country touched every country. And the people who launched it faced no consequences. None.
NotPetya was over in a day. The cleanup took months. Some companies never fully recovered. Here is what most people focus on: the money, the disruption, the chaos. But that is not what makes NotPetya important. What makes it important is what it proved. It proved that a government could weaponize software, aim it at a country, and deploy it through something as ordinary as a software update. No soldiers, no missiles, no declaration of war, just code, moving silently through networks that the entire world depends on. NotPetya was 2017. Since then, attacks on critical infrastructure have increased every single year. Power grids, water treatment facilities, hospitals, financial systems, all of them have been targeted, some of them successfully. You use software every day. You click update without reading what changes. You connect to networks you did not build and do not understand. You trust systems you have never seen. So did the accountants in Ukraine in April 2017, when they clicked update and started a war. NotPetya taught the world something: that the next war will not begin with a gunshot. It will begin with an update, a file, a click. And by the time anyone realizes what happened, it will already be over. The question is not whether it will happen again. It already has. The question is simpler than that. The question is, are you ready?